Welcome everyone to the TrueIMS Q&A session. We're very grateful that you're joining us this evening as we present our newest tier. The session is going to be recorded and posted for anyone who's not able to join us live. If you're watching the replay and have any questions, please send us a message through the TrueIMS Messenger and we'll be glad to assist you there. We will be sharing some important information during this session. During the presentation, we will have everyone muted to allow the presentation to proceed in a timely manner. The chat will be monitored since we'll be accepting questions in this chat box. All questions will be answered in the order in which they're received once the presentation is over. We hope that you'll find this session beneficial to helping you get started with the TrueIMS Platinum tier. Thank you.
As we mentioned, the Platinum tier, just a quick description about it. It's pretty simple. It's just the Facebook integration for the Platinum tier. We just wanted to bring that up because there's been a little confusion about what's included between Gold and Platinum. Nothing changes with Gold. Gold stays the way it is. Platinum adds the Facebook sales. To that effect, we had mentioned that the prices will increase starting March 1st for the Silver and Gold tiers. And we had mentioned that anybody that's currently subscribed to Silver and Gold will remain in the current prices. They will not see an increase. But for some reason, there was a little bit of confusion there about Platinum, and one or two thinking that Platinum was going to be grandfathered as a Gold tier subscription. That is not the case. Platinum is its own subscription, its own tier. Gold will remain as is.
So the first thing we're going to cover is the basic setup between TrueIMS and OBS, and you'll explain what the OBS is and kind of how it integrates.
Yeah,
how to use it.
Let me get this screen share on real quick. Give me 1 second.
So before we start, just wanted to make mention that there was a video tutorial that was also provided, I think, on our YouTube page, where you can find more information on how to integrate and the link for the OBS, which is a free program. So you can refer to that video as well.
It's another reason we're doing this Q&A. We found out that when we were talking about OBS in the video tutorial, specifically the item overlay, we kind of missed the mark on that one. So we'll go in detail a little bit on how to get that set up over here. First and foremost, I wanted to talk about adding items again, because when it was first launched, we've had a few that added a few items. There were no problems there. Everybody kind of figured out how to add items to a live. However, during a live, when comments were made for sales there, they found out that comments weren't actually purchasing items. The reason for that is that even if you're adding an item, they still need to be set up. As you can tell right here, we have the sales string. It'll specifically mention that it's not set up. This was done very intentional. We thought about having it work based on item numbers or SKUs or both. The problem with that is, depending on how you have your SKUs set up, it's possible that you might have a SKU that is identical to an item number, and now you have two of the same thing. In that sense, the system could get confused between which item is actually being sold. For that purpose, we have set it up so you can actually set up your own item numbers for that. If you still wanted to use the item numbers, you can still do so. It'll tell you at the very top what that item number is, and you just set up the item number or the live number to be that item number. You can still do that. The other reason we're doing it this way is, I know there are those that have flashcards or something that looks like flashcards with numbers on them. This way you can reuse them every single live. You don't have to rely on your item numbers, especially if you have tens of thousands of items and you'll have a comments like, oh, I want this one number 1156789. It's a very long number. This way you can set up your own number. So we'll set this up pretty simple. Number one, we'll save that one. Let's see, we have a number 2 in here. Set that up as number 2. And then this last one, that's number 5. We'll set as 5. I'll explain a little bit more about option 2, 3, and the option 1 over here as well. It gives you more flexibility in terms of variations. Let's say you have a test item number 5 over here. So the number is going to stay 5. However, you also have this item in gold and silver, just to make something up. So you can have test number 5. This one will be gold. And then you can have another item, another variation, for example, and you can set it up. It's the same live number, which will be 5, but option 1 could be silver for this one. And as you can see, the sell string over here, that's what the customer would type out in order to purchase that item. It gives you some variations between the comments. It can, let me see here. It's not necessarily the same number. So if you have the same bracelet or the same necklace, different colors, they don't have to be different numbers. They can be the same number, just with an extra word at the very end, signified by option 1, 2, or 3. So we'll actually, we'll keep that right here as gold right now. There we go. You know what? Actually, I'm going to take one out because we've added something to give you a little bit more information if you know that you're not completely set up yet. So let me add one more item here real quick. Let me see here, add an item, and we'll add test item number 3. There we go. You're going to see a nice exclamation mark at the very top left, letting you know that one or more of your items are not yet set up. That's something new we added to kind of help clear up that confusion just a little bit. Let's see, another way to see it, if we select the items. Obviously, we have our sales string again right here. This is for you as well. So even if you're not using the item overlay, it's still really nice to select your items as you're going through them, because it tells you exactly how you have it set up. That way your customers will know what to comment. And obviously, if you have the item overlay, it'll show up on your stream as well. Let's see what we can do here. Let me admit that one. Let's shrink this one down a little bit. Because now that we have this, I want to go over OBS real quick, because that was probably the main portion of questions we've received. So let's see here. Let me launch OBS. Here we go. And we'll go live. We'll kind of show that for you as well. Oh, I cannot make that any smaller. Okay, OBS.
Is that one being shared?
Yes. Let me see if I can open the Zoom chat real quick here. There we go. Can everybody see both the portal and OBS? Okay, perfect. So when you first launch OBS, it looks pretty much what you're seeing right now. All I've done is I've added an image just to make it look a little prettier. If you want to set it up, and we're going to start with the overlay first. As we've shown in the video, the tutorial anyway, if you click the plus button for your sources, we go to browser, you click browser, just click OK. And this is where I realized we went wrong during the video, because that was pretty much it. It'll let you enter your URL over here. And to get your overlay URL, we can go to our portal. And once an item is selected, click the live overlay. It's going to give you the overlay link. We can then copy that. We're going to paste that right in there. And we're just going to hit OK. There's our overlay. At that point, all we got to do is just move it to the right. Now, the background is fully transparent, so it doesn't matter how big or small it really is. It was not working. Let's see, show it again. Okay, sure, I'll show it again. Let me remove that one. What we'll do, once you have OBS open, on the Sources tab on the bottom left, you're going to click the plus button. And within the menu that pops up, we're going to select Browser. Once the menu shows up, just hit OK. Also, make sure that the source is visible. Once we have that open, let's say we cancel this out, it'll still be there. We can click the settings icon over here. 1 second. It'll give us the settings menu back open over here. So again, we'll go to overlay, paste that in here, and we get that by going to your live dashboard. And as long as an item is selected, because if none is selected, it's not going to give you the live overlay button. You click the live overlay, copy the link, paste that in there, and it should pop up. The other way, which it may not remember if you do it that way, but if you have trouble scanning that link, Let me even go back over here. You can also go into just the portal. We can right click it and we can click interact. Once we do that, it's almost like a mini browser. We can go to, see here, Facebook. Live overlay, it'll also load. Let's see, give me 1 second here. Okay, yes, if you get the sign on screen, which can happen, you'll do what we just did right now. I'll do it again for you. If you get the sign on screen for the portal right here, which you will get the first time you're doing it, let's say it's not selected, hover over your overlay, click on it, which will of course show the login screen, right click it, go down to the bottom, click interact. Once you're in the interact screen, click on the username, put in your username, click on your password, put in your password, go ahead and log in. And then once you're logged in, you'll either get the overlay or you'll get just the portal's main address on there as well. No. You don't have to do that for every single item. It's a one-time thing. It just helps having an item selected so that you can click the live overlay link so you can copy just the link right in there. Otherwise, you have to go in and click Facebook and then click the URL inside the overlay as well. If you just do it with the item, the way we're doing it over here, make sure I want to select it. Click this. We can just copy that link, put it right in the browser, and then paste it in there. That way you don't have to navigate within the overlay itself. Obviously, you might still get the signing screen. In that case, make sure it's selected, right-click it, interact, and then you would sign in just like a regular browser. And the moment you sign in, it should pop up the overlay for you. Let's see here. So yeah, just one time you got to do that. It's possible that after the login has expired, you might see the login screen again. And it's just repeating again at that point. Right-click it, select it first, right-click it, interact, sign in, and then the overlay will pop up. And then we can just move it right to the right side. Let's see here. Yeah, sure. Let me know if you can get it to work. Send us a message, and we'll do a quick screen share. We'll get it set up for you. Some of you might be wondering why it's on the right-hand side. We actually had it set up so it was on the left-hand side first. However, Facebook during a live show has their live symbol at the top left flashing, and if it's at the top left side, that live symbol will be above your overlay, and people will have a hard time actually seeing that item there for you. So let's say we have that overlay set up. At that point, and anytime you're going through your life, you're switching from one item to another, you have a few ways of changing the item that you're currently viewing. The easiest way is just clicking these buttons right here in the current item list. We click those. It's going to switch it, and it'll pop up right in your live stream right here. Click the next one. This one does not have a picture set up, so it doesn't show a picture, but it'll still show you the sales string that the customer will type out in order to make a purchase for that item. And the same thing with the last one, it's not set up, so it's going to tell me that that item is not set up. In that case, we will go to set up items, test item 3, which we would then edit, give it a number. We'll just give it number 3, save it, and now we're good to go. That's your test 3. As we can tell, if we go back right here, it'll show you your test 3 as well. The other way, if you're just going in order, we do have the buttons on the bottom that let you toggle through your different items. If you have a scanner and you're using, again, something like a flash card that has a number on it, or maybe even a barcode in the back, we can set a test item. Let's pick that test item 3 again right here. Let me edit that one. Again, it doesn't automatically take the SKUs that you currently have, because as I mentioned earlier, it's possible that that SKU might be the exact same as the item number for another item. So you can scan in the SKU item that's on your flash card, or just a barcode that's on the item itself. I'm going to do test SKU right here. And as you're live, We have test item 1 right now. We would scan that item. It'll come up as test queue. It'll also switch to that item for you if you got a barcode set up for that. If you wanted to have a list to follow along with the way you have your items set up, we can go to setup items and click the export list right here. Let me open this one up. It's a pretty simple list, but it does give you the order of your items. It will give you the name of that item. It will give you the sales strings for that items. There we go. Let's see here. So we have items, the numbers for those, and a quick little sample of your sales string, which will obviously be the comment that your customers will be making in order to make the sale for that item. Let's see here. No, we don't want to save that. Next, actually, no, before I go there, in order to add your webcam to OBS, we again go to our sources, take the plus item, and this is for webcams connected to your computer. I'll get to the mobile device in just a second. We will go to, where are we? A video capture device. Again, we click OK. We will go to our device, and we hit whatever name camera you have. In this case, it's a Mac. It comes with its own FaceTime HD camera, which we can pick. Click OK. We'll add that for you. Then we go again to plus. Audio input, because we also want to record our voice. We click OK. And we will do the same thing here. If you have a webcam, you will pick your webcam in here again. If you have a separate microphone, you pick your microphone from the list. And once you have that selected, you click OK, and you will see the audio input right here. As you can tell, it's taking our voice right now. As long as you see movement right here, you know that your voice is also being recorded for your live show. Now, I'm going to remove these right here. We had two questions come in, two identical questions rather, of how to go live from your mobile phone, which you can do so. You can go live on your phone. However, if you do right now, you don't have that live overlay in your live stream because you can't use OBS while going live from your phone. So I did a little bit of research, and I found an application. It's a free application called DroidCam, and we'll post a little bit more information about that. That will let you use your phone's camera as if it were a webcam connected to your computer. We know we had one person that installed the application and then went on the computer to install it. It didn't show up, and I think that might be because they installed it through the Windows Store. Don't use the Windows Store. We'll post links to it, but download the software directly from their website if you're interested in trying it, and install it that way. If you do, if we click that sources again right here, hit the plus button, you'll see something called DroidCam OBS. As long as you see that, you know you're good. I have the application installed on my phone as well, and it seems to be pretty simple to set up. It is a free version. It does have a watermark on your stream. I think the paid version gets rid of it. It's $15 one-time fee. This was very quick research. It's possible there might be other apps that do the same thing. It's possible there might be other apps that are completely free. It was very quick research. I'm not 100% sure if there's a completely 100% free version out there, but this one does seem to work really well. It's very easy to set up. On your phone, you have to do nothing. All you got to do on the phone is open the app, and it's ready to go on your phone. Once it's installed on your computer, we select the DroidCam OBS. It's going to pop up just like before. We're going to click OK. Now, the important one here is make sure you scroll down and click the Enable Audio. Without it, obviously, your audio will not function. From this point on, I'm going to leave this just as is right now. I don't see my device, my phone, in the list right here, even though I have the application open. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click the Refresh Device List. That's my phone. And I'm just going to hit Activate. Just like that. You don't see much. I have my phone laying down on my desk, so you see a nice shadow, nothing more. But it is the feed coming from my phone's camera right now. Now we'll click OK. And let's see, we can just extend that, make it as big, as small as you want. And this way, yeah, this way you can go live from your phone using this application while still having the overlay at the top right as well. Let me see if I can switch to one that has a picture, which I believe is test item 1. Let's see, does it overlap? It does overlap. So I think if we can move this one below the other one, there we go. So make sure that your browser for your overlay is at the very top of your list. And you can always click and drag them around. We'll make sure it's at the top, make sure DroidCam is below it. Otherwise, your camera's feed will overlap your overlay. Let's see. It's a really nice little application. As I mentioned, this was about 5 minutes of quick research. I had some other things to fix real quick, so I couldn't spend too much time on it. But it does seem to work really, really well. Let's see. Away. It's very possible if you got it from the store, but on your phone, you definitely get it from whatever store you have. If you have an Android, it'll be the Play Store. If you're on Apple, it'll be the App Store. You get the application from there still. On your computer, though, whether you have a Windows computer or a Mac computer, get the plugin from their website. Don't get it through whatever store you have. And we'll post a link for that. But it'll basically be a website. It's a little funky website. It's dev47apps.com/OBS. That's the website where we get the plugin from. You would just scroll to the bottom and then download whatever operating system you're currently using. And I've tried it both in Mac and Windows, and it works the exact same way. It works pretty well. Let's see here. Now that we have that set up, I did want to go over some additions we've made today. One of them being a way to view customers. And you might already be aware that you have a Facebook column letting you know if a customer has their Facebook account connected. And again, the website customers are the current accounts on your website, not your customer lists. Those are the lists that you've created yourself. Website customers is the one that your customers have created themselves. We've added the shipping address. In order for shipping to be calculated, it obviously needs to know where the customer is located. And it's the same thing for taxes. So it does require that your customers have a default shipping address set up as well. Using the website customers now, you can see at quick glance whether or not they're completely set up. They have a Facebook icon and a check mark. Your customer's good to go. In addition, we've also had a request for you to be able to send your customer a registration link. We can now go to customers. Now you notice we have a new column called register. Very simple. It'll only show up for those customers that you've added a email to. So these links right here, these customers right here, they don't have an email address, so it doesn't work. Not yet. They asked if you can edit the website customer list. Not yet. We'll make it so that you're going to be able to do more things to that. But for now, it's essentially read only. If you go to customers, we click register. And we click the send email button. If that customer does not have an online account, or at least if it cannot find that email associated with an online account, it will send that customer an email with a link where they can go ahead and register on the website. Once they do, we've added something on the dashboard for your customers as well. Let me open one up over here. So this is your typical dashboard. We've added the Facebook shopping status right in the middle of it. Right now, it shows that this customer has Facebook connected and has that shipping address set. If they did not either have Facebook connected, if they don't have a shipping address set, or if they don't have a default shipping address set, it'll let them know, and it'll be a button they can click, and it'll take them directly to where they got to go to get their settings configured. Let's see here. I know we went through this really, really fast. Did I miss anything?
Not according to the little list that I had, but now I guess we can just open it up to see if anybody has any questions or anything specific that they may want to see you demo.
I do want to mention, about 2 hours ago, we've published an update to our API system. We found out yesterday that certain items for certain customers, they will get an invoice link. Your item would be processed as being sold. However, that item was not added to their invoice. That was resolved about 2 hours ago.
Is that because it's two separate entities, like the website registration from the account list?
Why they have to add all the info again? If they don't have an account yet, correct? And this is in relation to you having your own information for that customer? Because if a customer already has an account registered on your website, okay, yeah, then they would definitely need to set up. Like I said, we'll make it so that this will be more accessible for you anyway, for the merchants, where you can do more things. Yeah, that's unfortunately how it is. In terms of the accounts, even if you were to set up an account for you, for them, which I can probably see. Maybe I can do something about that starting next week, where you can create a website account for your customer. However, they would still need to figure out a password for their account. They would still need to log into that account, set up their that Facebook connection, and what have you not. It's something they would have to do themselves. It's not something that they could do or that you could do for them. I could probably come up with something for that, Tony. I have to see about going around that, but that will make it much easier for our customers if you already have their address information and whatnot. It'll help them out quite a bit. Yes. Yeah, I know, Nicole. That was quite a bit of searching around to figure that one out, but it was it's fixed for sure. Yes. Once the customer does have their account set up as well, aside from just connecting to Facebook, they can see the current invoices they have. And it doesn't matter if it's a basket, if it's an invoice, a paid invoice, just like your customers can see their orders, they can also see the invoices they have. Let's see. You have a customer here that has a couple of paid invoices, and it'll show up in blue, just like you have on your dashboard. If you have any invoices that were made through Facebook, it'll show up as the Facebook blue. No, they cannot. It's completely read only. All they can do is just view what's in it. They can't add, they can't remove. What's
Yeah,
nice?
I think that deleting and changing anything, that would get chaotic, and then it could potentially damage any records you have. So I think the preference is for you as the merchant, as the business owner, to control deletions or changes to invoices and baskets, because that will create havoc if you have the customers go in and kind of manipulate. So I think it's best that you control that on
Yes.
your end.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
We try to put as much thought into it as we possibly could. And the thought of, let's say you haven't made 100 sales in an evening and you have 100 open invoices, and then to go in the next day and find out that out of the 100, 98 of them are now empty because your customers have gone in and removed everything, either by mistake or by choice, will be quite a shock. Another thing I wanted to show you, if they have an invoice but they haven't paid it yet, we can also go to open invoices, or your customer can go to open invoices, and they're gonna see a pay now button right there. So even if they don't have access to your live show anymore, if they can't find a link to their invoice, they can just log into their account, go to open invoices. They can just click the pay now button. It'll take them to their invoice, and it'll function just like any other invoice, really. Let's see here. Obviously, the additional benefit, aside from shopping on your lives, is that if a customer were to order something online and they set into their account, they can use their default addresses. They don't have to enter their address information all over every single time again. Just log in. It'll pick that default by default and default by default. It'll just speed up that process quite a bit. We will be adding at some point credit card information as well, PayPal information, so they don't have to keep entering that every single time as well. But that's a little bit more complex. Oh, we have another one right here. Let's see here. That will be that. I'm trying to see. Did I miss anything in here at all?
I don't think so. I think you covered pretty much what we had on our list.
We do.
So I think it's just, again, the whole point of this was just to kind of demo a couple of the most frequently asked questions.
Especially the OBS, yes.
But opening it up for questions and answers, because I think you are best served if you have a specific need or a specific question, and we can address that by demoing, versus us throwing things at you. So yeah, you're very welcome. We're glad that we could do this for you. And this is something that's been in the works for quite some time. And
I lost track.
unfortunately,
It's been
Facebook is not the easiest company to work with, but thank God we were able to get it through, and we're happy that we were able to roll it out. Yes, Richard and M, yes.
Yes, correct. It's been a good 2 years in the making, and it was an interesting time, to say the least.
And as you know, with Facebook changing algorithms every other hour, those were some of the challenges that we were up against.
Talking about that, yes, we've had a few questions about customers connecting to Facebook. It's going to ask them for their permissions, one of them being email, and then one of them being how to add Droid. I'll show you again in a second, Nicole, and why it's asking for publish video, I think, permission. Facebook is making changes in the way that apps can log in customers for you or do things on behalf of customers. Their old version worked just fine. We'd be able to request just email and leave it at that. The new version will not allow email to be used standalone. It has to be used with really any other permission, which is a very strange thing, but that's unfortunately how Facebook is going forward with their new login system. So we made the choice to pick publish video for the simple fact that it's one of our approved permissions. And the other one being that it has nothing to do with businesses. It doesn't require any business information. It doesn't require any page information, meaning that your customer may not have a business page. Your customer may not have a business account. And this way, it's not going to ask them to create one, which wouldn't really make sense for your customers to begin with. Where was I going with this? I lost track trying to explain it. But it was also one of the only permissions that we were already approved for that is not going to request more information from your customer. We don't want to ask for anything more than we need. In this case, it was just email. We will never post anything to your customer's wall, page, no comments, no posts, no videos, nothing. It's just there for the simple fact of requiring or satisfying the requirement of having the email with one other permission. And we've added since a little disclosure that the customer can click on right before the Facebook Connect button, and it'll show you exactly what I just mentioned, basically in text. Yeah, they are quite bossy. Yes, that's to say the least. We had a heck of a time.
Oh yeah,
heck of a time trying to get through some of that stuff, but it's done. We will be adding a lot of updates to Facebook in the near future. We are going to be looking at Instagram, which maybe unfortunately so is also Facebook. They own Instagram, so we are still having to deal with Facebook, but we are looking at Instagram. Before that, likely though, we will add the option for you to be able to sell from posts on your page, not just a live video, but you'll be able to set up a post with a couple of items, and you'll be able to sell through comments, just having those posts set up. That's coming at a later date. if I had that kind of money, Heidi, yeah, that would be great. It's been a long time in the making, and I know we've had others that popped up with the promise of having it and that end up not working out. we wanted to make sure that everything was done right.
Yeah.
With that, I also wanted to mention that, of course, we don't take any percentages of your sales,
Right.
right? It is just the subscription fee, as it always has been. At the moment, it is free, and it's free for everybody. It doesn't matter if you've had a trial in the past or if you had a trial 3 years ago. If a person had a trial 3 years ago, they could log in right now with their information and they can go live as long as they got everything set up. If you've had a subscription that you had canceled last month, last year, 2 years ago, you can log in again right now and you can still go live. It really is available for everybody until the end of the month. After that, it will be at $39.99 a month. It will likely increase in the future. I'm not certain what date. It might be after we add Instagram. It might be after we add the posts, setting from posts. As with gold right now, silver and gold will see a modest increase March 1st by about 250, I think, per month.
But that's for new signups.
New signups, yes. If you
Existing-
currently have silver, you stay with
Your
silver.
grandfathered, yeah.
You stay at $9.99.
Right.
If you are currently at gold, you stay at gold. You will stay at $14.99. The same thing obviously will be with platinum if it does increase in the near future.
And then just there was a little bit of a confusion in terms of the way it worked. Going to platinum is an upgrade, so you're not paying an additional $39.99.
Yes.
What you're doing is you're paying the difference between where you are now in your plan to get to platinum. So if you're at gold at 15, or I'm just going to round it up, you'll pay the difference between what it is to get to
Yeah,
platinum and the gold.
it's the
So
same
not
thing as
an
if you were
addition
to have
to-
bronze and you upgrade
Right.
to silver.
'Cause I know some people are like on top of what I'm paying. That's no.
Yeah, that was some confusion thinking it was an additional
Right.
charge on top of your current subscription. That's not the case. It's just an upgrade tier. Just like any other update. Bronze will stay $4.99.
Yes.
We figured that was such a nice amount, the $5 one. We want to keep it there, nicely at $5. It gives a nice way to kind of go down in case you absolutely have to. You're right there at the $5. We think it's a very fair value to ask.
Our business was born out of a small business, and we have tried to maintain that mentality, that mindset as we continue to develop, because we realize that there are options, but some of them, are a little more expensive,
Very expensive.
will require a lot of fees and charges. And for a small business owner, that can be cost prohibitive, and sometimes it makes it impossible for a small business to be able to function in that environment. So we want to make sure that we always maintain that at the root of our business.
We're pretty open book, I think, with the way we do things. We try to be as clean as possible.
Yeah. Again, small business owners loving on small business owners. And it's not to say that we're limited to small business owners, because we're blessed to have customers that have mid to large size businesses. But the focus is on the small business owners to cater to that population or that demographic that can't afford all the fees and all the this and all the that comes with some of these more, evolved programs. So we're hoping that
it's quite incredible. Yes, we've made it as flexible as we can, and it works really well for direct sales. But we have at least one company that it's a multi-million-dollar company, and it works just as well. It's great.
So yeah, we appreciate it. And one of the things that we say is our business has grown because it's been a word of mouth business. Like, we haven't had to market our business, and we've been blessed.
I'm sure most of you can relate. It's been an interesting year last year. Things have changed.
So yeah, please, Tony, we appreciate the love. Referrals, are welcome, and that's how our business has grown. And let everybody know that we now have this Facebook integration feature that we're able to offer for your businesses, which I think is wonderful. And yeah, word of mouth. I mean, that is, again, how we've been in business now for 6 years.
2018.
Yeah, 6 years. So it's been a blessing, and we're hoping, to keep plugging along. So Tony has a separate group. Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. We have a YouTube page where we have recorded tutorials on the basics of TrueIMS, for anyone who's never seen it, never used it.
Which they could use an update a little bit.
Yeah, so we'll go in and we'll update some of the videos, but at least the basics are there. You can kind of learn the ins and outs of, invoicing or baskets or what the different tiers are. So, yeah, that's something that we're gonna work on next, but at least it's something that's there that you can share. So,
Oh, and just to reiterate as well, almost everything that TrueIMS has is because it was requested by somebody.
right.
So if there's anything in there that you feel might need a change, might need to be updated, could be easier to use, let us know. Send us a message. We're we're very open to
Suggestions.
suggestions.
That's
Yes.
how we've evolved. We started off basic and it's grown so much because we've taken suggestions from people who've had amazing ideas, things that we may not have thought about. And that's kind of helped us be where we are today. So, you guys are the heart and soul of TrueIMS because we wouldn't be here unless we had taken little tidbits from everybody who's contributed ideas, suggestions, constructive criticism, everything.
Pam, I want to mention, re-mention this real quick as well. I mentioned it earlier, but I think it was before you jumped online. If you've had a couple of customers in your life that purchase an item and you've noticed that the quantities go down because they've sold, your customer gets a message saying that it's been added to their invoice, but it's not there. That's been fixed. That was fixed about right now, what, now 2.5 hours ago? Just in case if you've you've noticed that as well.
Tony said we have to email her customers and tell them to listen to her. We could do that for you, Tony.
um talking about emailing customers, you'll notice that the registration link is just a simple button per customer. Spam is incredibly difficult to control, to the point where most email providers, including the one we use, they're very, very picky about what emails are sent out. For that reason, we couldn't make it so that you could select all your customers and then click one button and it will send all your customers registration links. That is, in their terms, considered to be a mass email. It just has a high chance of being flagged as spam, which is very unfortunate. But yeah, if a customer requests a registration link, sorry, at that point you can go obviously to your account, your customer list, and just send them a link and it'll do what it needs to do.
Oh, Linda asked a great question.
Linda, if an item is not sold, is it returned to the inventory? Not immediately, no. Let's say we have Facebook Live over here. Anything in here, let's say we have one available for test item 1. We have one available here. One, I think they all have one available at the moment. Nothing happens to them automatically. At the moment you are done with your life, you no longer want your customers purchasing items from your life. The moment you go into your setup, you delete all the items. At that point, it'll return any unsold items back into your inventory.
Does it do that just because you may have people who watch a replay show?
Yes.
And you may want them to
Yes.
shop from your replay. At that point, once you are ready to go live, then it'll delete whatever you have there, right? Or you
Yes,
have to manually go in to do
it is a setting.
Uh-huh.
You can enable that on or off if you want customers to be able to buy through a replay. But even if you have it on, let's say we turn this off, meaning that once you stop your live, your customers can still purchase. The moment you go live again, or obviously the moment you remove your items, those comments will no longer
won't
work for that.
Mhm.
Yes, that's correct. Let's see here. And of course, it takes it from your what used to be called e-commerce e-commerce stock. It's just regular quantity right now. If we have an item, in this case again, item 1. No, we actually want to go. No, that was the correct one. I'm sorry about that. Let's see here. Item 1. Okay. I have a lot of items available of test item 1. I have the total of 998 items. However, I am only selling one item during my live. Those other ones will still be available on your website. So you could set exactly if you want to sell all your items, you obviously just pick all your items right there. But customers could potentially still go to your website and sell any items that you're not selling from your Facebook Live. It's not like your website shuts off. or your customers can't shop. That's pretty much up to you with your quantities that you have set up for that.
So Tony asked, can we change the sale word for every piece?
You could, yeah, you definitely could.
Yeah.
One thing you do have to keep in mind, Tony, is that there is a delay per item. The sale word is global, right? So it's for everything at that time that sales word is active. So for example, right now I'm selling one item and I'm done with that item. I'm going to change the sales word now to 2 because I'm on item number 2. However, a customer may not have purchased that first item yet. The labor, the stream, the customer may not see what you see yet. So you do have that delay. It's something to keep in mind because the moment you change that sale word, the previous sale word is no longer active. That's now been overwritten. The reason we made it so that you can change it in the middle of a live. I know there's a thing with customers not always necessarily paying attention to a live, and it's nice sometimes to change up the sales word. Keep them on their toes a little bit, right? You can have half a live, one sale word, and then it's like, oh, we're gonna switch it up. We're gonna use this word from now on, which will also work for your older items as well. It's the global keyword for that duration.
Stacy had made a comment.
Let's see here. When I went to go live for the second time, I could not get to the live setup button. The black screen came down or something. Were you going live from your phone, Stacy, at the time? So I wonder if that might be related to the aspect ratio. For example, right now, nope, if I go back to our live, we have a landscape view. Was it in portrait view? And it wasn't in portrait, correct? Maybe? No, with the vertical way? If it wasn't portrait, I'm gonna have to double check that. It's supposed to. Let's see. Looks like it was bigger. Okay, I'll have to check that out. I'll play around with the camera a little bit. Make sure it shows up right. Was that using the DroidCam application? It was. Okay, so with the DroidCam, obviously whatever my black bar is over here, the black rectangle, that's what's going to be streamed live. If you do use the DroidCam, you might have to change that screen size. Let's see how we do that. Let's see. We go to settings, and that might be under stream. No, it might be under output video. It's under video. We would have to change that to match the phone screen. Typically, I'd have to figure out what the more common resolution is for phones. But if you wanted to have a very quick portrait setting, flip those numbers around. If you have 1920 times 1080, put 1080 at the beginning and then put 1920 at the end. That simply puts it in a portrait mode. You have something else?
Yeah, there was a comment that Nicole made up top. Can you scroll up? I can't get it.
Yes. Where?
Right down. Right here. She had a comment here.
Let's see.
Has that been fixed? I guess we're about putting stuff back in the inventory.
It didn't put it back in inventory. I have not noticed anything then, Nicole. Let's see. Yes, yes. We're about done, and I think we're just gonna put it on there. We'll throw it on there. I might cut out the OBS portion and put it as a separate tutorial by itself, but we'll probably upload this as a whole. Let's see if we missed anything.
No, I've been reading.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just Nicole's comment that we had kind of passed because of check and going.
Okay.
But I think she was inquiring about the putting the stuff back in the inventory.
Back in inventory. Have to double check that. I haven't noticed any issues with that. But I'll double check that to make sure that nothing was missed there.
I had to she said she had to add them back manually.
Manually add them back. Oh, Nicole, I think you were referring to where the customer had purchased the items and it was showing as sold, but the customer didn't have them in their invoice, correct? I think that's what you're referring to, where you had to go in and manually add the items back. Yes. Yeah, that's been fixed. You're not going to have that problem anymore. That was done.
Good night, Tony. Thank you
Have
for
a good night, Tony.
joining.
Yeah, when you see the sold quantities now, that's accurate. The customer will have them in their invoice probably now. That was an unfortunate setting that was missed, but that's all done now. Is there? Did somebody want me to go over the DroidCam setup again? I think I saw something earlier.
Yeah, go back up.
Let me see if I can find it. Nicole, okay, yeah, I can go over that again. So one thing that we may have noticed, on your phone, you can just get the DroidCam app from the App Store or the Play Store, whatever device you have. There's a free version, and I think you can upgrade it to a pro version. The free version works great, but it does give you a watermark on your stream. And I think the paid version was $14.99, a one-time fee. We mentioned earlier that might be other applications out there that can do the same thing for nothing. My research has not extended that far to figure that one out. So we've kind of stuck with this, just kind of showing the possibility that it is indeed possible. But once it's on your phone, very, very easy. Open the application on your phone. And once the application is open on your phone, go to your computer. Doesn't matter if it's a Windows computer or a Mac computer or even Linux. And I'll post the link in the comments. But you want to go to dev47apps.com/OBS and scroll all the way to the bottom until you get the download options. Don't download the application or plugin from the Windows Store or the apps. I haven't checked to see if it's in the App Store on Mac, but I believe it is in the Windows Store. Don't download it from the store. Get it directly from the website. Once you have downloaded it from the website, if OBS is open, close OBS. Let me remove this one right here. Yes. Once you have that installed, we go to our sources and we click the plus item, the plus button. And you should see the DroidCam OBS option show up in the list of sources. Once you have that, go ahead and select it. The pop-up, click OK. On the next screen, I know you can change the resolution. This will depend a little bit on how you have that canvas set up. If you will, I think by default it's 1920 by 1080. It'll kind of match that. I'll leave it at 640/48. But you're not going to see your phone in the device right away. To get it to show up, have the application open on your phone. If you're using Wi-Fi, make sure you're connected to the same Wi-Fi on your phone and your computer. I believe it also works if you plug in your phone to your computer by cable, but I have not tested this, but it says it's supposed to work. Once you have that, refresh that device list, wait a few seconds, and your phone should show up. I'm going to go ahead and pick that. Now scroll down to the bottom and click that enable audio. That'll make sure that your microphone on your phone also works as if it were a microphone on your webcam. And I click the activate button. Now again, my screen is black. I have it on my desk. Just to have a nice background right here. We click OK. And you have your live feed. And all we got to do at that point is grow it as big as your canvas allows without spilling over. You see the bars on the bottom shows you it's spilling over. You want to keep it within, whether it's landscape or portrait or anything else. Now you will notice that when you add a new source, it's going to show it at the very top of your sources. If you do that, if you look at the overlay, it's going to cover my overlay. To get around that, make sure that your browser is at the very top of your sources. Oh, let me click and drag this down. There we go. And now your overlay will be on top of your DroidCam. Now, what's nice about OBS is it allows you to do a lot of things. If you want to have your logo shown on screen somewhere, you could add a source, throw an image on there, pick your logo, and then place it somewhere on your screen. You could do that. If you want to have your website address shown in your stream, you could do it. They're pretty much endless, the possibilities you can do with that. One thing I want to touch upon real quick as well. If you do use portrait, you might notice that your camera stream is rotated 90 degrees off. To fix that, make sure that, again, you click the DroidCam plugin, right click, and we're going to, let's see, where is it? Transform. And you can rotate your screen, or your feed anyway, from your camera to the point where it's upright properly. I hope that that showed that properly for you, Nicole. Now, does anybody else have any questions or anything you want me to go over again? I'll wait for just a minute, make sure we don't miss anything coming in.
The video will be up the replay will be up on the page, and then any questions
Yeah,
come to the message.
yes, Nicole. You'll have to download the application on your phone. Just search for DroidCam in the App Store or the Play Store on your phone. And then on the computer, did I close the... Where is it? Oh, right here. On your computer, yes. You'll have to go to dev47apps.com/OBS. Scroll down and download the plugin for your operating system. That is just so you can get the DroidCam OBS as one of your sources in OBS. Yeah, no problem, Pam. Do you have any questions or anything you want me to go over that we may not have touched upon yet? Was that clear for you, by the way, Nicole? Sure, yeah, no problem. I will post the link in the comments as well, but let me I'm gonna type it right here in the chat. I'll do that. Right there. Anytime, Heidi. I know we have a couple of messages still in the inbox. We wanted to make sure we got the fix and get everything out before we went live.
And if any questions come up while you're watching the replay, whether this is your second go round or if this is the first time you're watching the video, just reach out to us via Messenger and we can address those questions there. Because sometimes, you think of things that you may not have thought of during the live. So we could totally.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah. So with that, I guess we could just wrap here. Thank you so much for coming this evening and spending time with us as we introduce you to, setting up the platinum tier. Again,
it's always fun.
We're here to welcome any questions through the Messenger chat so that we can help you, make sure that you're running smoothly on your end. So with that,
I hope you all have a really great weekend.
Yes, have a blessed weekend, and we'll be posting the replay. So just stay tuned to the TrueIMS page, and we'll be posting the link there so that you can share it, but also review it. So have a blessed evening, and thanks again.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.